Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 573. Happy Tuesday. Fresh shave yesterday, fresh cut yesterday. Yeah, fresh shave yesterday morning, fresh cut yesterday afternoon. I switched it up. I've been like working from home. I shave whenever it starts like looks like it's a little rough. But I've been getting my hair cut before I shave. So when I go in to get my hair cut, they're like, what do you want me to do with the sideburns? And I'm like, oh, just, usually because I'm like this, I'm like, just, and they're like, well, it'll look funny unless you're going to shave. And I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to shave. So I'm like, I'm going to shave. So that way I can get that professional uh, trim of the sideburns. So we've got Brian with us. What's up? My guess is they work for Panini. We're talking about the backyard breakers today. So I'm going to share my opinions on this whole situation because it's blown up social media, especially over the last couple days. But really, not much has died down with backyard breaks since the big Trevor Lawrence giveaway that wasn't given away. So they've been back in the news over the last few days. I really didn't have an opinion one way or the other. I mean, the Trevor Lawrence, that I think was a bunch of BS. But the reason they're back in the news is because Josh Luber, actually, who is like the guy, I think is a chief vision officer of Fanatics. So he's the overlord of Fanatics hobby baseball cards, trading cards, I should say. So he joined these guys for a break of 2012 Prizm. So I didn't really have an opinion one way or the other. When that news broke, it's like, well, it's a strategic business move for, Luber and with Fanatics. But I've changed my tune. So I'm going to share my opinions on these guys. What's up, Diego? George says crop top for the win. Victor, what's up? Herman, good morning. Jenny, good morning. They are getting what they want. Publicity, both the Breakers and Josh Luber. Yes, absolutely. What are we chatting about today? We're going to talk backyard breaks. Mark Hoyle, what's up? Good morning. Glad to have you live. So yesterday, Jenny put my feet to the fire yesterday in the chat and said that catching up to me with active listing. So I'm like, I'll try to get some. So I ended up listing about 85 cards yesterday. So just a little quickie, and got about 80. I got over 12,000 active listings again, and then I sold a bunch overnight. Had great sales overnight, and I'm back under 12,000. So I'm gonna make some. I made some time yesterday. That's the thing. You got to make the time. We always say we don't have the time. We have the time. We just tend to choose it differently at times. So I made some time to list a few cards. So I'm going to make some time again today. I was very productive yesterday and was able to make up my dollar boxes. I did a lot more with my dollar boxes than I had anticipated, which means I expect to go live tonight. Not confirmed, but possibly. I'd say a 60% chance that I'll go. Actually, no, 75% chance I'll go live tonight because I have the collection that I bought. I moved it all into the house. It's all in my rec room now. So I want to tackle the rest of my dollar or the at least the baseball side of the dollar boxes for this Saturday's card show I'm setting up in Green Bay. So get those cleared out, and then tonight I'll go through and we'll go through live. We'll go through it together. The collection I bought on Saturday after the card show for $300. So we'll go through, and I know some of what's in there, but not everything. And I'll share off. There was like a small binder that had some really cool cards that I think most of us will get all of us probably. I think we're all looking at my demographics. We're all in that same wheelhouse. So this is like junk wax. This is like the This is right up Zach's. This is Zach. This is your wheelhouse. This collection is your wheelhouse because it's like all 80s and 90s stuff. So look forward to that. I don't know what time. Sometime tonight, probably 7:30 ish. Because usually by the time I finish with dinner, and then I'm gonna go out to the rec room and get my camera set up. It'll be on StreamYard. So once I figure out how I want to place the camera because I'm still a rookie at that. Let's aim for 7:30 p.m. Central tonight. We'll go through the collection. Was it worth the $300 investment? We'll see tonight. Jenny says that's why keeps you motivated. Absolutely. George says it's been a rough day. Drunk on a Tuesday night and don't have the day off tomorrow. Ooh, that must be a rough day. Hopefully tomorrow is better, and hopefully the hangover isn't too bad. Zach says that video avatar will get you clicks for sure. Right. Backyard Breakers, LOL. What's up, C&M Collectibles? Jenny says, well, it's not confirmed. If you do go live, what time? Yep, so 7:30-ish. 7:30 p.m. Central tonight. That's kind of my aim. I'll keep you posted. And I'll tweet it once I get a locked in time. But I do want to get that taken care of just so I can get that stuff out of the rec room. Just so it's not I don't want to let it get out of hand like it tends to when I pick up these collections and do my big sorts out in the rec area. So I do plan on I need to get that done. So I will do that tonight. Let's see. George says also good morning to all the fine folks. 608 Sports Cards, what's up? Repping the 608. Love it. Good morning. Can find good deals on Whatnot. So 608, that brings up I'm gonna look into Whatnot. In fact, one of the dealers that was at the show in Rockford on Saturday, his name's Zach. He's from Comp Killer Cards. And he's gonna be on Whatnot tonight. So I may have that stream. I don't know on my TV if I can. I don't know. Can you do Whatnot on a TV? I can do YouTube on a TV. I'm sure I can do what I don't know, but maybe I'll have my phone handy because I do want to see how he does. And he's like, we'll see how Tuesday goes. He may buy all of my 25-cent boxes. So he's on Whatnot tonight. So I have not. I don't even know if I looked when he was talking about Whatnot and like some of the deals that he sells. Obviously I've heard of Whatnot and I know a lot of people are on that platform, but I've never really looked into it. I don't even have the app on my phone, so I'm going to have to download that today, and I do want to check it out. Zach says, talking to George, don't take too many drunk pictures with your vintage film. Jenny says 7:30 sounds good. Shaw Cards is with us. What's up? George bought another vintage camera, LOL. Wasn't someone asking about me yesterday? This sounds like a good topic to hear. Bo opine. Let's see. Cooter, what's up, Cooter? Good morning. Please keep your shirt on. I will do my best. Rich says, smash that like button. Thank you. Hit that like button. Hit subscribe. Dang, Steph has me looking for the Hope Diamond Freeman. Yeah, if you didn't watch Herman and Kin last night, great stuff as always on 3B Collections channel. Talking about Steph trying to get Herman to buy the blue, is it the blue emerald blue from 2011 Tops? And I actually did have one. And ironically, Herman, I had it listed in my eBay store and I didn't really know what it was. I probably underpriced it, but I think it sold like the day after you left. And I think that's when I texted you the picture because I was getting ready to ship it. I think I sold it for like $2. It was a common. I don't even know what player it was. It was probably somebody that had a cup of coffee and got in the 2011 top set that nobody's ever heard of 10, 11 years later. But it sold for like $2.50. And now it's like, well, maybe I undersold it because you're right. There's like none of those on eBay. Those blue of 60s from 2011, the was it the diamond anniversary? Zach says, do camera collectors look at digital prints like one-of-one mosaic refractor acetate kabooms That's not even real photography, man. I bet there is a segment. I bet in the photography community, and George has an answer here. There are certainly some purists in the camera community as well. I'm just concerned if the photo turns out or not. I actually took a photography class in college. It was one of those I need to get my GPA up type classes, so I'm going to take art and photography. Um, and we had like, I'm sure they're not vintage they were probably like 80s cameras. I don't know, Kodak 80s cameras. And then we had to go to the dark room and develop the film. I I remember taking photos of we went to Bishop Hill, and there was like three friends, like me and a couple other friends took this class together. And I say Bishop Hill like you all know what Bishop Hill is. So Bishop Hill is a very small, actually, where's Magnus? It's a very small Swedish community in northwestern Illinois. Very Swedish. In fact, we took a fifth grade road trip. Okay, I'm going to share something. I'm going to share TMI. Okay, TMI information right here. Just us. I feel like I can share this because it was in fifth grade. So it was what, 20 years ago? No, I was in college 20 years ago. Geez, 30 years ago. In fifth grade, we do a unit on Bishop Hill. And so we take a field trip, a class field trip to Bishop Hill, Illinois. And it's almost like a Amana Colonies ish, if you're familiar with the Amana Colonies in Iowa. Bishop Hill, and we go on a fifth grade field trip. And I hadn't gone to again, this is TMI. I don't even know why I'm sharing this. I hadn't gone to the bathroom, and we learn all types of like kind of old timey stuff, like how life was in the 1800s in this small community. And we learned how to milk a cow. Well, we didn't really learn, like, I grew up in a rural community, so most everybody knew how to milk a cow by fifth grade anyway. But there's this old man, and I mean, he was probably in his 80s, and he's milking this cow, and he kept saying the T word. And I'm in fifth grade, and me and my friends are, I mean, hell, I'd laugh today if some old man kept saying the T word. So he's milking the T's, and he's not saying it in like the scientific, like in ag class, you say it. And me and my friend Jamie, who actually, my friend Jamie, who I was with at this point, milking the cow, he is the uncle to Giants starting pitcher Jacob Junis. So Jake Junis's uncle and I, we're really good friends growing up. And Jamie and I are Jamie Junis is his name. Jamie and I are sitting on this bale of hail bay, and this old man, and he's a character, and he keeps saying these words, and he's probably doing it because we're like giggling like little fifth graders do when they hear naughty words. Hadn't gone to the bathroom, and I peed my pants. Fifth grade, peed my pants on a class field trip. So I tell my buddy Jamie, Jake Junis's uncle, and I'm like, don't tell anybody. So I tried to hide it, and then he told Shelly on the bus, and Shelly told everybody. Jamie only told one person, but Shelly told the whole class. So there it is. Piss Pants Bo peed his pants on the class field trip to Bishop Hill in fifth grade. That's the kind of content you won't get on any other YouTube channel. I'm going to go back to the chat here. So in a roundabout way, I get to me peeing my pants on a class field trip because we were in Bishop Hill for my photography class in college. By the way, when I went back in college to take photos, didn't pee my pants that time. Diego buys auctions on Whatnot. Interesting. Diego, can you do like a video of Whatnot? Of I don't know, maybe if you have a mail day from Whatnot, and maybe you have, and I just haven't watched it, but that would be cool. Because I don't know the first thing about it. But I hear about it all the time. Jenny says, I have to watch replay of last night. So busy here in the evenings. You get that being in the Midwest in the summer. Absolutely. It's basically live auction. I stick to Triple Crown. Okay, Triple Crown is on Whatnot also. Okay. There are certainly some purists in the camera community. We got to that. Never take a class in my life, but YouTube is a beautiful thing. I've learned a lot of stuff there. Uh, I tried to learn how to tie a tie on YouTube, and I just didn't do it. One of my buddies, finally, we were so what I did tying a tie was when I traveled with the college basketball team, suited up and wearing a tie. Well, I didn't know how to tie a tie, and it's like, okay, I'm in my late 20s at this point. I should probably stop wearing the clip-ons, especially if you're wearing a tie 3 times a week. So my buddy Kyle would tie a tie for me, and I would just leave it tied all the time. And it's like, and he tried to teach me a couple times, and I finally got it. So now I can tie a tie, although I haven't worn a tie in like 2 years. So I'd probably forgot. I'd have to go to YouTube and get a quick reminder. It'd probably help me now that I have that basic foundation that it's like riding a bike. You just have to remember how to do it. Herman says TCDB has the whole diamond numbered of 60. Can't find it as a blue anything. Yeah, and I don't know what the actual name is. What's up, Dan? Good evening to you. Jenny says, interesting. Herman doesn't look blue to me either. Did you filter under Freddie Freeman and use card number to see which parallels it lines up? Let's see. Bo is Miles Davis. Cool, apparently. Love the reference, Big Daddy. Awesome movie. It's cool to pee your pants. Are you planning to sell your $400 card on eBay since you didn't make money yet on your 25-cent cards? No, I've only listed one card. I haven't made a dime. Yeah, it'll be listed in my eBay store along with the other pickups, which, by the way, you can watch that video, and I share how I bought a $400 card for just 25 cents at Saturday's card show, and kind of go through how it all went down. And I didn't even realize what I had when I bought it. Neither did the dealer. Not until I posted a tweet that I realized, oh crap, this is a big card. You're only a real man if you can admit embarrassing things, right? Right. Yeah, sure. Talladega Nights, they pissed their pants and came at Chip like a spider monkey. Ironic you were talking about pissing your pants on a show about backyard breakers. Ed is with us. What is up, Ed? What did you ask of me, Bo, for Whatnot? Oh, if since you're on Whatnot, since you've bought from Whatnot, I don't know, like I guess if you have like another mail day, I wouldn't ask to do like a special video on Whatnot, but like your next mail day, kind of explain the process of Whatnot, what Whatnot is, and like some deals that you can get. I don't know any. I just know it's a platform where people buy and sell, but I don't know how it like works. I'm assuming it's kind of like a live stream where people just like, from what Zach from Comp Killer told me, was like he just like puts up lots and like kind of spreads them out, and he's like $5 or whatever, and people buy $5. But I'm going to download the app today, and I'm going to try to catch it at some point. Dan said, I almost crapped my pants in Bangkok after stupidly eating pho before a massage. That's awesome. Barely made it to my hostel bathroom before explosion. Oh, that's funny. Let's see. Jenny, Bo doesn't make anything on 25-cent cards. He just makes the dinner and cleans the house. My wife would be like, what? No, he doesn't. He secretly pretends to us that he flips 25-cent cards. It's all a ruse. It's all a ruse. It's all made up. I didn't find a Mike Trout rookie at a Goodwill lot. I just found pictures on the internet. Are you getting Whatnot account so you can sell your sports cards on Whatnot? I'm going to download the Whatnot app, and I'm going to check into it just to see. I don't think I'm going to sell there. Never say never. But I like to stick to one platform. And, I do enough business on eBay that I don't want to diversify the platforms. So, but maybe I'm not gonna say no, I'll never sell on another platform. But at this point in time, I've talked about doing ComC for like 5 years now, and I still haven't. I don't plan to. I think I made a goal. I think like a month ago I said by June 1st, I'm gonna submit to ComC, and I'm not gonna do it. Maybe someday, but I'm just not gonna do it at this point. Let's see. George. Victor says live stream auctions. Okay, awesome. Okay, I can tell you I am not a fan of the payment structure. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. I like it. Cooter says the older you get, the less you should trust a fart. I feel your pain on that one. I know what you're talking about. You can sell all your common cards on Whatnot, automatic payments that take from your account. Okay, now that you mention that, I do remember Zach telling me the payment structure, even for sellers, was a pay. And I don't know if you're talking about on the buying side, but he was telling me on the selling side, like it's like 5 days, which people complain about managed payments and not getting it for 2 days or 3 days, 24 hours in some cases. But he said it's like sometimes up to 5 days. So he did mention that. Let's see. So let's talk backyard breakers. And this is something that I didn't think, and here, see, never say never. I didn't think I was going to do a video on backyard breakers because I didn't want to give them any publicity. Not that my 77 views are going to push the needle, but I really had no strong opinion one way or the other. You know, I mentioned them. I mentioned them after the Trevor Lawrence fiasco. And, you know, I thought that was handled extremely, very poorly. And then more stuff has come to light. Now Josh Luber joined him for a break here over the weekend, I believe. And it's in that kind of brought more awareness to who they are. And so I just kind of want to go over, you know, my opinions in my opinion on Josh Luber joining the break actually has changed in the last week, and I'll share that. Managed payments was not your best friend's complaint, right? I did a backyard video before I retired. I think they put me into retirement. Yes, that's right. You did. So going back to that, so I think Ed says that Luber move was a head scratcher indeed, and yes, I'm going to get into that. So Michael, what's up? I've only done a few breaks, mostly Bowman draft, but I have no desire to do any. And I'm gonna transparency on breaks. I do breaks on occasion, but I only do team breaks I've done a few in Herman's because Herman's my friend, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna join this break, and it's fun. You know, that's fun because Herman's a friend, Jenny's in there, others, you know, other hobby friends are in there. So that's for like enjoyment. And then I'll do products like Bowman Draft, Elite Extra Edition, because the hobby box prices, it's like I don't really care for I shouldn't say that. I love Bowman, but the hobby box prices on Bowman, I'm not going to buy hobby boxes. So with Bowman, I just kind of, I don't do, like I didn't do break with 2022 Bowman, but I will for like Bowman Draft and Elite Extra Edition. And I enjoy those because I do a pick your team. And as long as all the cards ship, so I'll get into those breaks. And my favorite breaker is Real Breaks because I know them personally. Tom and Ryan are awesome dudes. And I saw a comment on Twitter last night, and it might have been Phil Hughes who made this comment. I shouldn't name names because I'm not sure who said it, but it said you should choose a breaker that you would trust to break off camera. And that really struck me because that's so true. Like, you know, that trust is a huge issue. And to break, that's the big thing with breaks is, okay, Michael confirms. Yes, Phil Hughes tweeted that out. Like, only break with someone you trust, that you would trust breaking off camera. And I think that's really important. And that comment struck me. And it's so true. Tom and Ryan are like, and this isn't a slight at any other breakers because there's a lot of, and that's the thing about some of these bad breakers is they give all breakers a bad. It's kind of like when you're selling baseball. When I tell people I sell baseball cards, like I immediately think they think of me as like the comic book shop guy on The Simpsons. Like that's how I feel like the non-hobby people look at baseball card dealers. Like the the used car salesman type. No offense to any used car salesman, but the stigma that has, and the comic book guy on The Simpsons. So this is no slight, but my favorite breakers are real breaks because I know Tom and Ryan personally. They both now have brick and mortar shops. Tom's is in Waupun, Wisconsin, which is just a couple hours north of me. And he comes down. He's been dealing at my shows the last couple months. I've actually been. He used to live closer to me, and he would give me deals on hobby boxes back, a few years ago. And I sat in and watched him break and hung out in his basement and had a great time. And actually, I know, like, I knew his dad. I actually worked in radio and interviewed his dad on a weekly basis on the radio station every Wednesday morning. And when I saw his name the very first time I got into one of his breaks when he was first starting, I'm like, added him as a friend on Facebook and sent him a message. I'm like, hey, are you related to Al? And he's like, yeah, Al's my dad. How do you know him? And I'm like, I interviewed him every Wednesday morning on the country morning show talking about 4-H. And then Ryan, I've met Ryan. Ryan's in Minnesota, I think Champlin, Minnesota, is where he has his shop. Awesome guy. He's given me deals. I've been in a couple of his breaks. So those are my trusted breakers. I would trust them to break off camera because they are awesome, upstanding breakers. But then you have some of the others that it's like, ooh, I don't know if I trust the backyard breakers. Let's see. Diego says, oh, I'm going to go back. I missed a couple. Ed says Herman's breaks are the best, especially the live drafts. Diego, I join the breaks that make me feel like I'm splitting boxes with friends. And that's what I get with Herman's breaks. Or other collectors hate hit driven breaks. Same here. I'm an all card ship guy. I want that quantity. I like pick your team. I don't want to gamble. I did get into some breaks where it was more of a gamble, but that was like, gosh, probably 2015, 2014, 2015. Let's see. Jenny says, I'll break with Herman. No one else. Breakers now don't even care about base commons. Well, I do, especially when I spend $40 and got 11 cards. Getting them damaged, yes, upsets me even base. Yeah, I agree. It's like, especially with Bowman, like I want those paper cards. Like I hate it when it says paper doesn't ship. Like, well, I'm not breaking with you. Facebook groups are littered with scam artists. It's not as bad now versus the last 2 years. I agree. Facebook there's just a lot of crap garbage on Facebook. It's and that's I came over to hobby Twitter and it's like, this is like, it was like the grass is literally greener on the Twitter side. Yes, there's a lot of garbage on Twitter. But I think it's easier to like eliminate. You just block and move on. If stuff, when people like, sometimes people like, it's their personal or even a hobby account and they're like liking and retweeting like adult stuff. It's like, what are you doing, man? Get a burner account for that or something. So it's like, okay, we're gonna unfollow and it's much easier. You don't really have that option. I think you do. I think there's a block option on Facebook or a mute or whatever, but I like Twitter better. Anyway, let's see. I would trust Herman breaking off camera. Oh, most definitely. Let's see. Dan says, I joined 10 case breaks and never hit a Burley. That's a bummer. Dan and I gonna live break a box of 2014 Superstar Baseball Season 1 while wearing crop tops. I don't know if I want to watch that. Dan says we should. Michael says, when I get back to the hobby in 2018, I watch breaks to get educated. I felt like breaks were made for stuff like National Treasures. These retail mixers are just awful. Completely agree. Unless it's fun, unless it's like a fun break with, hey, some people on Twitter, friends in the hobby, that's fun. Like that's like Diego says, it's like you're breaking with friends. But if it's like a real like breaker that's doing it just to make a little extra cash or they're doing it as a side hustle or a business. Yeah, I agree. Those retail mixers are awful. TD Sports Cards, what's up? Good morning to you. KBO says there's no shortage of it. They're still printing cases of it. 2014 is 87 tops. Jenny says, I've always wanted to do a case break of opening day. No one wanted to join. Well, they're missing out on the value that could be in them. A case is only $800 for 20 boxes. So backyard breaks. So the very first the very first time I heard about backyard breaks was the whole Trevor Lawrence saga. And what that was, and this was, I don't know, how long ago was this? A month, 2 months ago? What happened was they were giving away, and I'm gonna kind of paraphrase because I don't know all of the exact details, so correct me if I'm wrong, but essentially what happened was they had a giveaway box. They were breaking this box as a giveaway, and I think they even had somebody that, okay, so-and-so, that was a term that my parents always used. So-and-so. Oh, you remember so-and-so from down the street? Anyway, so-and-so was picked for this giveaway box. They start ripping this giveaway box, and boom, there was a Trevor Lawrence, and it might have actually been a Kaboom. I can't remember, but at the time, it was valued at $20,000 to $25,000, and they're like, "Oh, we can't give this away," and they have a style that it's not my thing. So I'm not gonna complain about their style or their look. If everybody looked like me, it'd be a boring world. If everybody looked like you, it'd be a boring world. So I think we all have our looks. So not gonna complain about that. Not gonna complain about their style. It's not for me. Their style isn't for me. Just because their style isn't for me, it may be for others. And they do have a big following. Like, don't get me wrong, they have a big following. There are people that enjoy that shtick. I don't. So I would not join. Without the baggage that we've seen, I wouldn't join their break just because it's just not. That's not the style. I just want. When I break, I want to break with other like-minded collectors who are in it for. You can be in it for the chase. I get it. Like, when I buy into Bowman Cubs breaks, I'm hoping to hit, some Cubs autos. Like, I want those hits, but I also want that base. It's all about the base. So Trevor Lawrence, Kaboom, they're like, no, we can't give this away. And then they came out and said, oh, we're gonna do it for the kids and take this money down to the Boys and Girls Club for a donation and all of that. So apparently there was a tweet sent out by Backyard Breaks last night, that has since been taken down. Now, this was a screenshot. It appears to be, like, I double checked the at, always, because at trade deadline time you see Ken Rosenthal and the at sign is like one letter off, but it looks like it. I'm looking at every little letter and number in this, and it appears to be the actual Backyard Breaks account that tweeted. And they said, first, the Trevor Lawrence Gold Kaboom incident. To set the record straight, we fully recognize that we made a mistake in that moment and we didn't handle it the right way, but at no point did we intend to deceive or scam anyone. This was a unique situation that was managed in real time, and we tried our best to make it right. We listened to our community and decided together to donate the bottom card in the Patriots. And for some reason, it like skips around, the screenshot skips around, so it doesn't really make sense. But to donate, the bottom card is the Patriots, and the customer says bottom card, they get the Patriots. There was never an instance of a customer choosing a team card and JMO shuffling it to another position. The card of the video was scuffed due to simple wear and tear. At the end of the day, we strive to create the most entertaining and positive environment in every break we do. These allegations do, and it was cut off. And then there's another part. As we've learned from that moment and continue to grow, we hope that others will grow with us and advance from the level of hate and negativity that's taking place online toward our staff and community. Regarding the claim that we're marking cards, this is libel and is a direct attack on our business. These allegations are 100% false. We love you all. Backyard Breaks. Again, some of that was cut off. I went to the Backyard Breaks Twitter account, did not see that. And it is Twitter. It's not Instagram. And then the screenshot says this tweet has been deleted. So I couldn't read it in full length. So some of that was choppy. But yes, they did in real time. They made a poor decision. And I think we can all sit back and like judge people making real time decisions. And so this opinion that I have is probably not going to be popular, but I get it. Okay, in real time, put yourself in that position. And I know we can sit behind our keyboards and we can just pile on and say, oh, they made a terrible mistake, blah blah blah. They should be, let's excommunicate them from hobby. But put yourself in that shoe and in those shoes and in real time, on a live stream, you're doing a giveaway. It's a $25,000 hit. Yeah. What's the right thing to do? We all know the right thing to do is be a man of your word and give the card away. But at the same time, like, I can understand that position in real time. Now, would I do that? No. But I've never been in that position either. So I can sit here and say, and I can sit on a high horse and say, oh, well, I would never do such a thing. But put in that position in real time with the wheels in motion, would we? Like, that's the thing that I have trouble. And I it's like 25 grand is a lot of money. And regardless if these guys are making how much, I mean, obviously they're making a lot of money doing some of the breaks they're doing. 25 grand is a lot of money, no matter how much money you're bringing in as a business. And put yourself in that position. I don't want to, was it the wrong move? Yes, absolutely. Did they look, was it a mockery? Was the entire situation a mockery? Absolutely. And again, I'm not attracted to that style, but I know others are. So I'm just going to leave it at that. It's hard to place yourself in that position. And would we all handle it when we're sitting back in our card room or sitting on the couch and we're scrolling Twitter and the outrage? Put yourself in that position. It might be handled differently in real time. So I'm gonna get to the chat here real quick. Where are we at? I missed a lot. Where are we at? Okay, so Dan says we should seriously do a break and have 9 people each chooses one team they know nothing about. That would be kind of fun. Let's see. Mike, what's up? Baseball collector in the house. Yes, a gold kaboom, Trevor Lawrence. Victor says I'm in on a case break. Mark Hoyle is in. I would be in. George says that could be fun. Somebody got to get that big hit with the superstar card. Jenny says, Dan and Victor, let's make this happen with 2023 opening day. Heck, we could do it let's do a 2022 opening day. Or is it out yet? Is 2020? It was big league is what last year's came out. Let's see. Jenny says, oops, and Mark, I forgot to put live chat and not top chat. It only shows me some of the chat. Show me on this doll where these mooks hurt you. The more we talk about them, the more we keep them in the spotlight. John is that 70s card show is absolutely right. And that's why I didn't really want to do a video, but there's been so much talk about them. It's like, well, my little small channel is not going to move the needle. So I'm going to share my opinion today. But you are absolutely right. The more they're in the spotlight, the more, the more it is. And I'm going to talk about that as I get around here. Cooter says, hey, Mike, enjoyed episode 3. I've got to watch that. By the way, episode 3, he's talking about chasing cardboard. So check that out here on YouTube. Awesome show. Episode 3 is now out. Check it out, Chasing Cardboard. Let's see. Dan says, I'll try to find 9 people who want to do the KBO break. Jenny says, so honest question, why does the Lawrence card bother the hobby community so much? I mean, obviously it was wrong, but there's bad car salesmen, and we just say stay away. So just curious your thoughts. It was such a high dollar card. It was given away and taken away. So first off, it was valued, I believe at the time, like $20,000 to $25,000, and it was in a giveaway box. And what happened was when they pulled it, they said, "Oh, this is too much. We can't give this card away because it's too much." So that's just bad business. And again, going back in real time, but they kind of doubled down on it. And then when they think back, it's kind of like this is probably has nothing, but it's like the Astros cheating scandal. It's like, I think it's come to light. Most teams have concocted ways to steal signs, and what the Astros did was obviously wrong. Shame on them. But when they came out and acted all cocky, it was the reaction that, rubbed me the wrong way, how they reacted to it. And I think that's what rubbed me the wrong way. It's like, well, that's a crap move that you would give this away and then take it away because, oh, well, we're not going to give it away because it's too much. So that rubbed me the wrong way. But then they kind of doubled down and they didn't admit their error even after all of the outrage. Like they just doubled down and they're like, no, this is how it is. So I think that's what kind of irked me in the aftermath. That card should have went to the original guy who had the spot. Totally agree. John said I was going to bring up the signing by content creators for charity at the National to Dr. Jim this weekend. Let's see. I skipped ahead. Where are we at? Dan says we could do the spinning wheel with the 9 teams, see who gets which teams. This reminds me of the later who sued McDonald's because her kofeif was too hot. You can say you never would, but do you got a backup plan? Let people spend $25K and get burned. That's the best thing that can happen. The guys who had spots in that free break all were customers in other breaks. Baseball Collector says, movie quote of the day, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I don't even get out of bed for less than $500,000. 608, how can you do a giveaway for a box and ask rip or ship, then rip it and not give it away? Yeah, I don't understand for me, like, I don't understand personal breaks, because for me, isn't the joy in ripping a box actually ripping the box, and not paying for it and have somebody else do the fun work? Like, isn't that, like, I just don't get personal rips, like personal box breaks, like, and what that means if you're not aware. So it's like when a breaker says, I've got a hobby box of 2022 Topps Heritage, it's $100 for a personal rip, and then you watch somebody else dance with your wife. I don't get it. Like, I just don't get personal box breaks. Paying somebody else to do the fun stuff, I just don't get it. Shaw Cards. Oh, he's saying hello. I think I said hello to Shaw Cards. Baseball Collector, talking to 608. Jenny says 2022 opening day is out, but I don't have 800 laying around for a case right now and don't want to have people pre-buy spots. Gotcha. Totally understand. Diego says your little channel is combined with a network of channels, so what you say gets around and adds to the topic. That's a good point. Yeah, it gets spread, and I guess every little, it's kind of like concussions. Who concussions? It's been studied that it's the small repetitive hits, not the big jarring hits, that cause the issues with concussions. And that's kind of like, when we talk about these, are they bad people? I don't know. I guess that's up for interpretation to each of us. But the bad eggs, when a lot of small people talk, creates a bigger talk anyway. After your show, I'm off to close on a $20 collection buy that includes a Ricky Henderson starting lineup. I am pumped. Love it. Subdued Diego ain't lying. Stevens Cards, what's up? Good morning to you. DR is with us. Morning all. I have to catch up later, but I just wanted to say hit that like button. Thank you very much. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm not even done talking about backyard breaks. I gotta keep going through the cuckold baseball breaks. I personally ripped my pants the other day. There you go. Personals is a muted word for me. Agree, I will never understand it, much like I will never understand people posting pictures of retail wax. Some instances I get the retail wax. I like it for like like, it was fun looking at those pictures of Target in 2018 during the pandemic, where there's like just blasters on blasters on blasters of Prizm basketball on the shelf, and you couldn't even find it in 2019, 2020. So I get it, like in hindsight, they're fun to look at. And I also like to see pictures because my area stores are like always fully stocked now. So in others, it's like, this is my Walmart, this is my Target, and there's like no cards on the shelf. And it's not the case around here. So I like to get that regional feel. Like, what's the retail shelf look like in your area? Victor says, not a personal fan, not a fan of the personal breaks. Why pay someone to rip your cards? Completely agree, 100%. Dan says, I have an interview set up with someone in this room, but I just learned someone else in this room has an interview with that same guy first. Oh, do tell. Or are you going to leave us with a cliffhanger? Jenny has to cut grass today. No collections for me. I got my grass cutting in on Sunday. My allergies, everything has bloomed in like the last 2 to 3 days. So my eyes are like watering. I'm sneezing. Fortunately, I haven't had to leave the get off camera to blow my nose. John says he'll cut your grass. My mower has been idle since I was let go by my wife. Let's see. I'll push it to Minnie. On the subject of Dallas, we should set a time to meet at Uncle Rich's booth to take a group pic for Bo. Love it. Michael says I'm talking about the pics of the grocery cart full of retail wax. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, look what I got. Shelf in my area is full of instant noodles. Although, Michael, I will say I have done that before. I took a picture of my cart full of Bowman mega boxes in 2019, or I might have been last year. It was, I think it was 2020. It was 2020 after everything opened back up the first time. So backyard breaks. So their initial, if you're just joining or joined in the last 5 minutes, rewind it a little bit. Talked about the Trevor Lawrence gold kaboom that was given and taken away. So there's a link to the video. Dustbuster, I think Dustbuster Breaks is the name. I apologize if I'm messing that up, but the link is in my description to this video. He kind of points out some potentially shady business going on with backyard breaks and how they're, and I know Ivan has called out like some of the antics that backyard breaks and how they do some of these randoms and all of that. It just seems shady. So Josh Luber teams up with Backyard Breaks to join them on a break of 2012 Panini Prizm basketball this past weekend. And there's a lot of outrage in the hobby community because Josh Luber is like, he's kind of the face of trading cards for Fanatics now. And it's like, hey, man, why are you doing this? That's kind of the general consensus among the hobby. Why go with these guys when there's a lot of upstanding breakers in the community? And you're siding with them. And I think one of his replies was, they were the first to ask me. So somebody reached out, and I don't know if this is made up. I don't know if this is real or not. So take this with a grain of salt, but it was making the rounds on Twitter. Somebody reached out to Josh Luber, and I believe this was through Twitter DMs. And basically the only thing that is pointed out here, what do you think that video shows? ? And I think that was what Josh Luber said. Yeah, that's Josh Luber. So Josh Luber, and Josh Luber, I don't know if this is confirmed, Josh Luber, if he stated this or not, but this is a screenshot that was making the rounds yesterday. He says, what do you think that video shows? ? The person who reached out, or the other person in this conversation, says, quote, that they mark certain cards and breaks, etc. Just shady things have happened with them in the past. Luber's reply, again, if this is Luber, the real Josh Luber, this video is and this is quote from the tweet. This video is nothing at all. I've gone and he's referring to the video that's in the link is in my description to this video, where it shows possibly some shady business on how they're picking randoms, how they're picking the teams. And he says, quote, "This video is nothing at all. I've gone deep to understand the claims, and to be honest, it's comical. Whoever made the video should be ashamed. As to the Trevor Lawrence issue, we've also gone deep on that and feel confident there was no wrongdoing. They could have been more clear in how they explained what was happening, but they more than made up for that confusion with the people that matter, i.e., the people in the chat that day. We have spent time with these guys personally, and they are just some guys hustling, working very hard, doing great things for their community. Do they have a style that some people dislike? Question mark. Absolutely. I'm not a personal fan of that type of content, but a lot of people are, and it's really that simple." And again, that was apparently a direct message that was screenshotted in throughout Twitter. So I think it's bad optics. And in a week ago, the question was brought up when it was brought to light that Josh Luber would be joining Backyard Breaks for this 2012 Prizm. And my initial reaction was, okay, the Trevor Lawrence. Now, these other issues I wasn't aware of at that time, but I knew about the Trevor Lawrence issue. And it's like, okay, there's a lot of animosity toward this group of breakers. You know, they did this Trevor Lawrence giveaway. They took it back. They doubled down, and you know, it was just bad optics. And now all of this other stuff has come to light before he joined this break. Now, my thought last week was, hey, it's a business decision. Backyard Breaks has a huge following. They make a lot of money. They bring in a lot of money. So when Fanatics, it's a strategic business move, I think is how I worded it. And at the time, that was my belief. Because there's a lot of companies out there that do that team up with other entities, other people that I don't care for, that I don't like their politics or their beliefs. But at the end of the day, if I like, you know, I don't fall in line with Chick-fil-A's beliefs, but I love their chicken sandwich, and I don't care what they do. Their chicken sandwiches are freaking awesome. It ticks me off when I go to the drive-through on Sunday and realize, crap, it's Sunday, they're closed. but I'm going to go on Monday for lunch because I love the Chick-fil-A sandwiches. So there are things that we like, and I know there's outrage, but at the end of the day, if you're so outraged, show it with your wallet. Like if you are so outraged that Fanatics is choosing to do business, or you know, Josh Luber is doing partnership, whatever you call it, he's appearing with them. Don't buy from Fanatics. I mean, that's, you know, when Backyard Breaks, when that Trevor Lawrence crap went down, they actually gained followers and probably more business. Controversy creates cash. That's what Eric Bischoff says, which I'm excited. I'm going to go see Eric Bischoff live, their podcast live Friday night in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Side note. So that's my thought. And, you know, I thought about it's a strategic business decision. But with the other things coming to light this week, that video, again, the link's in the description. It's like, okay, this is really bad optics for Josh Luber and the Fanatics brand. And I think it was a poor move by Josh Luber to align essentially with Backyard Breaks. Again, and I agree with Josh. If that's not your, you know, put aside how they dress and how they act, but it's the goofy shenanigans, not like shady business. But, you know, but with all the bad optics, like, you know, maybe this wasn't the right move. And there's a lot of people in the hobby community that, you know, think this was a bad idea. And I thought I didn't really have an opinion. A week ago, I didn't have an opinion, but now I do. And that's why that's why I didn't do a video before. You know, a lot of people were outraged last week when it was announced Luber would be joining them on that break. And to me, it just didn't move the needle. Like, here's my opinion. You know, I think it's a strategic business move. It's, you know, Topps is a business, or Fanatics is a business. And they're aligning with other entities that are, you know, making the money. At the end of the day, that's what they're That's what they're out to do. They're not to, we're all collectors in here, and of course, I do it as I sell cards full time, so it's a business for me as well. And at the end of the day, you have to pay the bills, and you have to put food on the table. Um, so you have to make strategic business moves. And last week I thought it was, but now I'm going to step back, and I'm going to change. I'm going to change my opinion from a week ago, and I think it was a bad move. Am I outraged? No, I'm not outraged. I think it was a. I don't think it was a wise move on Luber's part. But it's not going to affect me in the way I buy and sell trading cards. I'm not outraged. I'm not really even upset. I think it's disappointing. I think disappointing is the word, uh, because no matter what we do in the hobby, we want to have the most upstanding people at the forefront, whether it's the top breakers that are, that executives and companies are working with. We don't want the company we're paying a lot of money buying their products to align with potentially shady people. And I'm not saying they're shady. I'm not calling them shady, but sometimes when there's smoke, there's fire. And I think there's definitely smoke in this case. So that's my thoughts. I'm going to jump back into the chat. Where are we here? Let's see. Jenny says, I would say jump on a plane and come cut my grass, but you probably will jump on a plane. You fly more than drive. Ain't that the truth? Talking about John, that 70s card show. Rich says, well, we're going to call into Hobby Hotline on Saturday a.m., so 9:45 at the ComC booth. I'm jealous. Everybody's going to be in Dallas. I'll be in Green. I will be at a card show, so I will be having fun. I'll be at the Green Bay card show on Saturday, and I'll have a bunch of dollar boxes, and I'll be doing bulk discounts. Fill a box for, I'm going to do $50, so that's 50 cents a card when you fill a box out of my dollar boxes. And there's some good stuff. I was going through and making up my dollar boxes last night, and there's some good stuff. And it's like I should put this in my eBay store, but it's like, I'll put this in the dollar boxes. So come out, see me, KI Convention Center this Saturday, Green Bay Card Show. And if you're in Texas, or within reasonable traveling distance, head to the Dallas Card Show this weekend. Let's see. That 70s Card Show says now we have forensic card break shows. Looking forward to the serial podcast on this. Luber being everything to everyone. Have you heard them say they otherwise? Let's see. We need to look at card companies as suppliers of cards, not as hobby influencers and idols. That's a good point. That's a good point. That is a really good point. I think it's the social media generation where everything is at our fingertips now. And, was there ever any outrage over partnerships with Michael Eisner? Probably, but probably not to the extent that we're seeing with Josh Luber. Cliff, what's up, Cliff? All that yelling and screaming, how much spittle is ruined cards. I don't care for them, and I don't either. It's not my style. I don't, I want to join a break with people with like-minded interaction. And, I'm not into the, let's go, boom. I'm not into that. I just want to nerd out on baseball cards. So that's what I look for. And that's not a slight on the people that I choose to break from. You're not nerds. But I am, and I like to nerd out. Let's see. That 70s Card Show, I get my hamburgers from In-N-Out, not my religion. Exactly. I don't care what other beliefs are. If the food is good, I'm going to eat it. And if you see my midsection, I'm eating good. The Savannah Bananas of the hobby. There you go. I liked the Savannah Bananas initially, and now it's like, okay, like it's kind of like the Savannah Bananas of baseball are becoming the NBA slam dunk contest, where it used to be really fun and cool in the 80s and early 90s. And then all of a sudden it's like, let's do all of this crazy wild shenanigans. And it's like, okay, they've jumped the shark. I thought the Savannah Bananas were cool. They are getting a lot of mainstream publicity, which is good. But it's kind of like, okay, what are they doing now? It's baseball, damn it. To be honest, I'm not outraged about much because my life is the exact same no matter what others do. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. Where are we at here? John says, Jenny, you nailed it. Leo says, need to try CFL's frosted lemonade. So good. Also, their mac and cheese is good, and I hate mac and cheese. Interesting. I only have, when I go to Chick-fil-A, all I have is the chicken sandwich and fries. I really like their fries. I think among fast food French fries are underrated. I really love the Chick-fil-A French fries. But I'll have to mix it up. I've never had the mac and cheese. I've never had the frosted lemonade. John says Hobby Hotline will feature two old guys and younger, wiser collector tonight. John, who is on Hobby Hotline? Tonight, 8 p.m. Central. Check it out, Hobby Hotline Overtime. Let's see. Herman says, may I need to change my YouTube name? Didn't realize Personal Rips was a no-go for so many. When I said that, it's like, not Herman's Personal Rips. And I think what I mean by personal rips, and I just want to clarify, what I mean by personal rips is when you pay somebody to break a hobby box for you. Not a box break in the normal term, but say I bought a box of Bowman from you, like say a blaster box, and I paid you $30 and you just opened it for me on camera. That's what I mean by personal rips, personal breaks. Let's see. Gosh, my days are way too busy in the non-winter months. Let's see. Where are we at? I'll be celebrating a birthday at a card show Saturday and Sunday. Happy early birthday. Baseball collectors, I'll be at the Dallas Card Show. Diego says, I hate the phrase let's go. And I say it sometimes, and it's usually when I tweet out let's go, it's usually tongue in cheek. The card hobbyist says, dead on comment, manufacturers are for profit businesses, not our drinking buddies. Amen to that. Rich says, Mike M, John, and the beautiful Samantha Shuford, two old bearded guys and a woman. So check that out. 8 p.m. Central Time tonight. Hobby Hotline. Personal Rips is now a barbecue show. I love their new format. And here I'm eating fish on National Barbecue Day. Herman says, you're good. I knew what. Okay. So that's what I wanted to touch on today. I hesitated because I didn't want to, really share my opinions on backyard breaks, but everybody else has, and I do have an opinion, and actually my opinion on this whole Josh Luber backyard breaks changed. Like I said, a week ago, I thought it was a strategic business move, but with the other things coming to light this week or, in the last few days, it's like, okay, that was bad optics. And so I'm going to change course and change my opinion on that whole deal. So hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Go over and watch Chasing Cardboard because it's an awesome show. Very awesome. So check that out, Chasing Cardboard. And then 8 p.m. Central tonight, check out Hobby Hotline. So Hobby Hotline Overtime tonight. John says, I love your show, Bo. It's just long enough, but not too long that my bladder gets too stretched. Important at my age. You don't want to end up like 5th grade Bo at the Bishop Hill class field trip. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Have a great Tuesday, and we'll be back on tomorrow morning, 7 a.m.